great day, and I'm sure you're gonna have a great hour also with me. So that is absolutely my responsibility. So again, to the traders on the platform who have joined just now, welcoming you all. My name is Kanak Rai, and I'm a financial analyst on the platform. So before I proceed any further, I just wish to know from your end, is my voice clear to all of you, and is my screen properly visible to all of you? So if that is the condition, please let me know in the comment section by typing yes or no, of course, so that I can confirm the setting and we can proceed further to have some great, full and fruitful conversation about a wonderful strategy. And I can see some of my friends have already joined. That's so wonderful to know. And I think today we are going to have some amazing discussion about a strategy that is really useful, and many traders can find draw a lot of help from it if they know how to use it in a right manner. So I've got two yes from two of my friends named V2 Master and Vikas Vishnu. That's wonderful to know. But I'm still presuming there are a lot of people who are watching this. So please let me know, all of you, so that we can have a formal introduction with each one of us and then we can start further in this trading journey. So again, the people who have joined just now, all of my friends, welcoming you all on OLYMP TRADE Global YouTube channel. It's always a glad feeling when I get to talk to all of you, and I'm glad right now also that we're going to have some great conversation about this strategy, which is Friday strategy, and gratefully we're talking about it on Friday only, so that's a great thing. Chris here is asking a question, where is Thomas? I can assure you, you can have a webinar from him soon, but today I will like to be in his shoes and I will try to deliver at best of my capacity. So you have the same feeling what you had when you had a conversation with Thomas. So there's nothing to worry about. Okay? And in the meantime, friends who have joined just now, welcoming you all. You can see my trading screen right now. The Euro USD currency is active. As you can see, the area graph is also active. So people who have had a webinar with me before, they know I like to follow one ritual, is that because on a platform, on a very constant basis, there are new traders who have joined and started their trading journey. So we make sure we take them with us in this journey. And that is why whenever I start any webinar, I make sure I give them a quick intro about how the interface of OLYMP TRADE actually is, so that they are at least on the same page with the traders who have a lot of experience on the platform. And I hope that is okay with the traders who are new on the platform. So yes, just to let you know right now, this interface of OLYMP TRADE, I primarily divide this interface into three sections. The section 1 is this left section. The section 2 is this center section. And the last section is this third one. Situation right now, I hope you all can see my screen, and if you see right now we have this situation where there's trading condition. You can find all the RFTs, which is this we trade over here, and then there are other things such as the 85% profitability and the advanced status as well. Afterwards, if I talk about, we have events on the platform. Also, whatever event will be active, you'll get to know about it, and you can get all the information about those events in this section. And this last but not the least, help section. When you click on the help section, you can talk to the customer support regarding any of your concern or any clarification that you need at the moment. Also, if you want to know about certain aspect of trading in terms of which strategy to use, which indicator to use, what is Forex, what is FTT, all that information you can get in this cute little help section of ours. You can simply click over here. You will get all the information that you need. If I give you a very basic example about it, you can see over here right now, it's trading platforms, profile, and if I scroll down further, you'll get to see all these things. Learn how to trade in 30 minutes, Forex guide, FX strategies. I know some more people might be like, why am I explaining this thing? Because many of our traders, many of our friends are not aware of this thing at the moment. So I want to let you guys know, on a platform, we make sure you have all the information you need when it comes to trading, so that you don't have to look out for anything. You get all the things at your place right now. All you need is intent and a bit of focus, and you can get any information you want to get more profitability on the account. Afterwards, if you come over here, whichever asset you are trading on, you'll get to see the asset name at the top left corner with the percentage that you're providing. It means the rate of return. Afterwards, the signal icon is there, the graph icon is there. You can change the chart type over here. The technical analysis icon is there, and if you want to trade or you want to view two graphs at once, you can use this multiple chart options. If you come on the right hand side, whatever account you're using, like right now I'm using this account USDT, You can see the account details. If you have a multi-account, you can switch it from here. I can simply click here and I can switch to my USD account, but right now I'm using my USDT crypto account. And if you want to do anything regarding deposit or withdraw or transactions, or maybe just switch between payments, you can click over this payment section. You'll get the option for withdraw, deposit, transfer, and transactions. Afterwards, if you are expert status client like me, you'll have this icon. Also, this just make me realize, can you guys let me know in the comment section of all the friends who have joined right now for this webinar, who is expert, who is starter, who is advanced? So based on that, I can help you out specifically as per your account status. Now coming back to my point again, if you are making, after that, if you want to do a pending order, you can do that from here. And of course, you all know this thing, right? It's up and down. And when you're opening a trade for let's say 100 USDT and you are using it on Euro USD at 82% ROR, then you'll get to see the profitability, which is 82%, and the return on a profitable trade will be 82 USDT. So that was a quick interface over here. So you guys who have joined just now, welcoming you on the platform. This is a webinar about Friday strategy, and we will make sure that all of you get a clarification about how to use this strategy. And just to let you know, I'm a financial analyst, so my responsibility in this webinar is to make you familiar with this one. That's all. So we'll talk a lot about things in terms of strategy, and we'll discuss a lot more. Okay. So right now, let's enable this strategy. So if you are an advanced or an expert trader, you have the option to directly enable this strategy. You can simply go to strategies and you can click here on this green double arrow icon. By the way, this green double arrow icon simply represents the advanced status traders. So it means if you're an advanced trader, you have access to all these green as well as blue. All these strategies are available for you. But if you are an expert like me, you have the triple arrow in a yellow color. It means you have access to all of these strategies. However, if you are a starter trader, there's nothing to worry about. You still have some strategies which you can use, such as these. So if you're a starter trader, you can use all of these strategies. But of course, I would be recommending you to go for advanced or expert. That way you'll have a lot more options and tools to help you in trading. Now coming back to Friday again. So this is a Friday strategy. And here is a quick brief regarding what it is composed of primarily. When you talk about Friday strategy in particular, it's basically exponential moving averages, EMA. So in case if you're not aware of EMA, I'm sure many of you would have heard about SMA, which you guys use, right? So this is basically a better version of it. So we use 3 indicators of similar type, 3 EMAs with different settings, which is different periods here right now, which is 5, 13 and 55. So here, from here you can enable the strategy and we are done. So let me clarify some of the points over here. We have 3 lines over here, right? You can see EMA 5, EMA 13, EMA 55. In case if this color code is not properly distinguished for you, you can of course go over here and change the color. But for me, this color is working just fine. So I will not be changing any color, but of course, if you want, you have the option to do so, and you can change the thickness as well. So let me just demonstrate by changing the thickness a bit. Okay, so this is the EMF 5. I'll go for a medium one here and done. So right now, what our primary job is to identify a entry point. So right now, let's just see where we can find an entry point. Okay. So at the end, we all know we want to execute trades, but whoever had a conversation with the manager knows that what we tell them. We tell them always make sure not to open trades under emotions. Right? I'm sure you must have heard this thing from a respective managers, and that's exactly what I'm going to repeat right now, that never ever open trades under emotion. Use a strategy, which in this case is Friday, and when you find okay, it's working for you, great, open it. Otherwise, wait for a perfect time. So right now, this EMF 5, this is the main indicator that we're going to focus on. This is basically a signal line. So whenever this signal line crosses EMA 13, we can open a trade. This is a downtrend and this is crossing right now, so we can open a trade in a downward direction. Let's see how it will go. But again, just to see these things, if I zoom it a bit for you guys, let's forget about this one. Let's go back and see how it has performed previously. Okay, so if I go over here, And let me just focus on this point over here, like this one. Can you see that? Yeah, exactly. So when this purple line, which is EMF 5, it crossed EMF 13, which is the yellow line. I hope that's yellow, not orange, right? You can let me know in the comments which color exactly is this, but in my eyes it's yellow. So whenever when it crossed the yellow line, it was an uptrend. So if we would have opened the uptrend, it means uptrade over here, we would have had a profitable trade for a long duration, because you know right now my time frame is 1 minute. It means each candle over here represent a 1 minute duration. So for a great amount of time, as you can see, we would have had a profitable trade. Similarly, if you come over here, EMF 5 crosses EMF 13 in a downtrend. And if you would have opened a down trade, we would have had a profitability for at least 7 or 8 minutes. But again, I'm sure you guys are aware of this thing. Whatever your time frame is, you should go for at least twice or thrice of that time frame. So here it's 1 minute. So on safety side, I will go for at least of 3 minutes. Okay. So before I proceed any further with any of the trades, let me talk to my friends over here who have given some comments to me. So V2 Master is telling me my loss 50 USD. Oh God, I'm really sorry for that. First of all, let you know it's not just your loss. On our platform, when we make trades, we suffer losses as well. I had a 40 USD loss. I had a 90 USD loss also. But that's the thing. You learn from your losses, you make a 78 USD profit as well. So it's all about that, guys. You will have profit, you know, which strategies you can use at the moment. And if you want to use Friday, he can help you personally in that also. Okay. So Madhav Rider, he is having a comment over here. Let me know about today forex trading, in which pair asset could trade according to NFP news, which will come today at 7 p.m. So please let me know which pair of asset good for forex trade. Let us know any of pair. Absolutely right. There's nothing to worry about. We'll make sure to come back to your question again, provide you all the information you need. But at the moment, we'll be focusing primarily on Friday trading. Okay. Clinton is saying, love how you speak. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for this compliment. I really appreciate it. So at the moment, if you guys see, there's only one trade I've executed so far, and it looks quite good and it's a profitable trade for me. So very basic thing we'll do. We'll see where a EMF 5 is crossing EMF 13, and as for the trend, we'll try to open a trade. Let's go further. We'll open maybe on BDIX, which is basic dollar index. So again, guys, if I zoom in a bit over here for you all to see and evaluate by yourself, you know, so this is a EMF 5 and it crossed over here in an uptrend. So if you would have opened a trade over here, it was a great signal, means great entry point for us to start a trade. We missed the signal, but not an issue. At least we got the information. So that's a great thing. We can always go back to the signal where we go back to any asset where we find the signal. So right now we can switch to gold to see if we can find one signal over here, and it looks like we have a signal, but let me confirm this a bit. So if you guys see right now, it crossed over here in an uptrend, but after that candle, this is in red, right? It means the signal is not really strong. Also, one additional point for you all, if you see in this area, if you get to see, there is not much movement, right? There's not much movement. So whenever you see such situation happening where there's too much of to and fro happening and overall there's not that much of movement, back off. I have nothing else to say, you guys. Back off in that case, because that's exactly what we need to do. And by back off, I mean not you, your money on these trades. Back off your money from these assets in this particular duration, because it's not a wise decision to make. So let's switch. And right now we are on commodity. And again, if you see over here what I was telling about, so if you see the crossing, where the crossing has exactly happened, the crossing happened over here. How wonderful this is. So this is setting a really great example for us to understand how Friday actually works. So if you see here, the crossing happened, right? And after, guys, I'm really sorry, give me a moment. I think it is taking a time in loading. Allow me to reload the entire web page again. I hope the condition will be resolved by then. In the meantime, let me try to answer questions of my friends over here. Mr. Kamal is saying पैसे कट सर पैसे कट हो गए मेरे पर मेरा डिपॉजिट नहीं आया और मेरे लगा प्लीज हेल्प श्री also. Kamal ji, I'm really sorry for the issue that you're facing at the moment, but I would be recommending that you try to contact the customer support because they can help you with your concern regarding deposit or withdrawal. Here, you can know more about trading in terms of what you can do with this Friday strategy. So that's what my recommendation would be, that I can assure you concerns will be resolved, but at the moment, let's focus on how we can improve our trading. And now since the web page has loaded, we can see we don't have a clear-cut signal on Europe composite as well. So we can avoid it for the moment. So coming back here again on composite, we don't have a signal right now, but there's a possibility, because if you see, there's a possibility of retrieval. It means taking a U-turn from here. So there's a possibility we can get a signal. We'll mark it as star to see sometime later. Now coming to Asia Composite Index. Again guys, there's no signal on Asia Composite Index, but that's what I mentioned in the very beginning of our conversation in this webinar, that we will be taking trades based on calculations and not on emotions. That's what trading actually is. So I have not executed any trade in the last 5 or 7 minutes, but that's not an issue because I'll make sure I execute trades only when I have a clear cut and solid entry point. And that's exactly what my recommendation will be for all of you. Also, I have a small task for you all. At the moment, you all are with me watching this Friday strategy. So let me know which asset you think is providing the signal right now as per this Friday strategy for us to start the trade. Let me know about that, guys, so we can work together and do some really good trading at the moment, okay? Because till this point, I have executed only one trade and that has been profitable, but we got to do more trading to see how to use this strategy and to develop a better understanding with Friday. Got it? So I will request all of you, please come in the comment section. Feel free to type the assets you want me to look at for trading, and we'll make sure we have some wonderful trading experience right now. Let me go back to a signal. We had a great signal for us to trade upon, but we were late. But I think that really can help us to demonstrate how Friday actually works and how we can put it under use. So make sure if you find something like this with a clear-cut signal, you open a trade. And since it was a downtrend, so we'll open a trade in downward direction. But not an issue. We missed the signal, but we'll get more signals in the time. Let's wait for the right time. There's no signal over here also. We'll scroll down further to some different assets to see if we can have any signal right now. We don't have anyone on this one at the time. So let's remove star from this one also. We have no signal over here also. We come to AUD USD. There's no signal. My friend here, Mr. Vikas Bishnoi, has wrote BMW. Oh, okay. Let me check BMW also. How wonderful. Thank you so much for the suggestion, because I think he's absolutely right. In the minute or two, we can have a good signal on BMW. Thank you so much, Vikas, and I would recommend everyone to please participate in this webinar, because it's not about me speaking and you listening. It's about both of us having some conversation, and that's how we can have a conversation when you write over here, and we'll start to learn more about it. Mr. Irshad Ahmed, I am a starter. You have explained it well. Thank you. I'm glad you found it useful. I'll make sure that it is as simple for you to understand as I can make it, because at the end, trading is really simple if you look at the basics of it. It's a mathematical calculation and that's it. So again, guys, I think the suggestion of BMW by Mr. Vikas was spectacular. We can wait for some time to see how it goes, or as I was recommending, we can put a star on it to see how it performs in a minute or two. In the meantime, let's see the other star, which was commodity composite, if there is a signal for us or not. And at the moment, there's no signal. Not an issue. We'll go to BDIX again to find their signal. There's no signal at the moment on BDIX also. But that's exactly what I would be recommending, guys. We have to make sure we open trades only when we have a signal, not when we want to. Because our goal here and your goal here is to make profitability. Not to make 100 trades, but to make 100 USD. So always make sure never to calculate your progress by number of trades you are making, but calculate the progress by the profit you are making. That number is important for us. So we'll execute trades only when we have a clear-cut signal, and if there's no signal, you can do three things. You can change the strategy, which is Friday at the moment. So considering this webinar is about Friday only, so of course that option is out of the box for me. But when you are trading, you can do that. The other thing is that you can switch the assets like the way you are seeing me switching the asset to find the signal. The third thing is that you can change this time frame. For example, if I click on this one, I can go for 1 hour. So there was a signal over here. I can change it to maybe 30 minutes. So there's a possibility for a signal over here. So that way what will happen is that you can find signals for you. And there's a possibility. For example, right now this is the thing, 15 minutes. So there's a possibility for a signal over here like this. But that's the thing. If I'm doing 15 minutes, I have to open the trade for at least half an hour. So that is impractical for me considering this webinar. So I cannot do that. I have to restrict myself to a time frame of 1 minute. But you don't have such issues. So you can open a trade with 15-minute time frame by making your trading duration 30 minutes or more. Okay? So these are tips that you can use to increase the timing of entry points. But always make sure, as I mentioned, BMW is crossed. Okay, I'm really sorry. I think I went way too ahead in my discussion about the signals. Let's check BMW again, whether it's performing or not. And if it is, we can open a trade on it. I guess there's some broadband issue from my end. No, not an issue. I'll have to reload the web page again. Maybe that will help me out in getting the graph. So BMW, I'm getting a point, but I'll be slightly disagree with you here because if you look at it a bit closer, it took a sudden U-turn, and if we would have opened a trade over here, we would have had a loss on this trade. So this point, guys, here, I will request all of you to have your attention for maybe 2 more minutes on this point in particular. That whenever you get a crossing, do not immediately open a trade because we have to see how the next candle is performing. Because if you see, while this crossed, it was green, but the immediately next candle was red. So there's a chance of sudden U-turn in this situation, which we have to avoid. So make sure you don't do that mistake. But right now there's a possibility for another signal over here. So we'll keep the star as it is. And there's a crossing right now. I think let's wait for BMW to set an example regarding how we can use Friday strategy better. So let's focus more on this in particular. So guys, if you see the candle is just 5 seconds away, let's confirm whether this crossing happens or not, and we'll wait for the next candle to form as well. So if we'll wait for around 10 to 15 seconds on this one to see if it's green or not. If it's green, we can take a trade. Otherwise, right now, if you saw in this case. So right now, if you saw, there was a crossing and the next candle for at least 10 to 15 seconds was green. So this was a sign for us to open a trade. It went in the other way, but that's absolutely fine because sometimes it can happen. You have to accept sometimes things. But that is a appropriately okay way to open a trade. So what we'll do, we'll wait for some time to see if it turns around or not. Otherwise, this is a lesson for us. So let's switch back to BDIX again. Right now, if you see BDIX, there is a sudden change. So there is no crossing at the moment happening, but we can wait for some time to see if there's a crossing or not. Not an issue. We'll go to gold. The same situation is for gold at the moment. If we go to commodity composite, there's a crossing over here. That's wonderful. But if you see, we missed by one candle, so we can reduce the time frame to see how the trade performs for us. Or you can just be like me and not take this risk and wait for some time. So that's absolutely a personal decision to make. But what I would be recommending is you can avoid making a trade on this one because it can be a bit risky for you. Right now there's no signal on Europe composite as well. Let's see how the asset is performing. It's not profitable at the moment. Not an issue. Guys, again, let me know what you guys feel. Wherever we can find any signal for our entry point, we'll start trade over there. So let's work together and find some great signals to execute some trades. Okay. So there's a crossing over here, but again, we are a bit late on this one. There's a possibility to have a cross over here, so let's just put a star over it and remove the star from here. Again, no crossing. Guys, if this is the situation again, I have mentioned regarding this situation maybe 10 minutes back. I would like to mention it again. Situation is something like this. Back off your money from a asset which is having a trend like this, okay? Because this is something which is quite unpredictable, because you don't know how the asset is going to behave. So if there's a great trend going on, only on those assets we can have a trade. It was not a profitable trade, not an issue. So we all know, I'm in case you're not aware by a martingale principle, what we do is that when we make a trade and it's profitable, right now my last trade was profitable, so I continued with 40 USD. But since this trade is not profitable, so what I will do is I will double this amount, because it's based on the principle that you will have at least one profitable trade. And if we go by that hypothesis, we can recover the amount that we had lost in the last trade, okay? So all we got to do is be patient, and when we get the signal, just blow the hammer and start the trade. There's a possibility for a good signal over here, but let's wait to see how it works out. In the meantime, guys, if you are going through the assets right now with me, let me know on which assets you feel there's a signal or there's a chance for us to have a great entry point, so that we can look on that, and all the people who have joined right now can see that and learn from it. Okay? There's a great chance for a signal over here also, so I've marked both of them as stars, and I can watch all of them on the favorite section. So you can use this thing for your benefit. So your portfolio is not limited to one or two assets only, because that way I can keep a check on all the assets who are having or have a chance to have a great signal on them. So there's a chance on Asia Composite Index as well. So let's wait for some time. And if we go on Euro USD, there's no chance anytime soon. Let's wait for some time and see on other currency assets at the moment. For example, this one. Let's switch to something else. Guys, as you saw right now, I am not making any trades, not even a single trade, if I'm not finding a good enough signal. So make sure, be patient and be attentive, and that's all you need to make sure that at the end of the day you will have a profitability in your account. Okay, so let's see some of the comments right now. Vikas was saying it doesn't work in BMW. Yeah, I understood, not an issue. I think we can see if it works later on or not. And Mr. Akshat Vashisht, how much time it will take through UPI payment? Please tell me. I think for such questions of yours, I would be recommending that you talk to the customer support, because they are well equipped with information as per your account situation to help you out with that, because this is a webinar regarding trading specifically on Friday. So at the moment, my humble request would be, let's try to focus a bit on trading, because that's exactly what it's about. Let's not miss this chance for any of your deposit concern, because they can be addressed later on also. And Mr. Jiku Chaudhary, he is written down. I'm really not sure what exactly that mean, but please feel free to elaborate a bit more on that. In the meantime, let's switch to different asset to see how they're performing. Maybe Europe Composite. If we have a signal, we don't have a signal. On Asia Composite, oh, there's a chance to have a great signal, but let's see how it performs at the end of this candle. Then we will have a great idea about it. Guys, if you know any other asset right now providing a signal, right, Asia Composite Index, please let me know. If you can see my screen right now, there's a chance to have a good signal over here, but we'll have to be a patient for at least maybe a minute or two to see whether it's clearly cut the line or not. So let's see how it works out. So if you guys recall last time when I took a trade, I mentioned to you guys after a cut, for example, in this situation, if there is a downtrend cut, the next candle should be red. If that is the case, we can go further. Otherwise, we should avoid making trade at that point of time and looking at it, how it performing. It's a great thing we didn't start a trade and we waited for some time for a confirmation, because right now, forget about this candle in particular. If we just focus on this candle only, we shouldn't start a trade because it's showing the trend of reversal at the moment. Okay, so let's switch back to some other assets to see if we can find a signal. Oh, this is a wonderful chance here for us to start a trade, but again, let's be patient, let's be attentive. Mr. Ahmed Farag is commenting, can you pass by me? Can you clarify what exactly that mean? Because that way I think I can address your question in a much better manner. Guys, I think if you recall my last example, this is again a new demonstration for that particular example, that if you see a crossing in a downtrend, the candle should be red as well. If it's not, it's a sign of reversal and we should avoid that. Okay, we should always. So I don't think BDIX is in any mood for us to start a trade, because we could have started trade on BDIX over here and it would have been wonderful. But at the moment there has been no signal since then. So I don't think today BDIX is in any mood for us to start any trade on it. The same situation is with gold also, not an issue, maybe some other day on them. Right now, if you see this again, commodity. Guys, I think there's a great chance for us to start a trade, but I have to just remind you one pro tip over here. Whenever you see certain to and fro motion like this, so we can avoid trading on such assets for a bit, because you never know how they're performing, because they're fluctuating a bit too high. So it's down, then it's up, then again down, then again up, then down, then down, up, then down. So you don't know how they're going to perform. So we can avoid trading on them also. If I go for Europe, again, there's no signal over here, not an issue. We'll wait for some time. We go to Asia. If you guys see over here, I'm glad we didn't took a trade in this situation, because if we would have, it would have not have been profitable trade. And again, we need to understand one point over here. It's primarily not even about having a profitable trade or not. It's about finding the right approach, you know. Because if you follow the right approach, even if you don't get a profitable trade, at least you know what steps you followed and you can correct them for the next trades. But if you randomly pick any asset and you start trading on it and it doesn't go profitable, what do you think you can track back to correct yourself in? And that's why we always, or at least I always recommend all of my traders friends, that make sure you follow an approach in terms of having a right strategy, finding a right entry point, and then starting a trade. Because that way, if it doesn't go profitable, at least you know the steps you have followed, which you can correct later on. And that's exactly what trading is about. So make sure whenever you are trading, whether it's Friday strategy or any other strategy, or just a EMA indicator or any other indicator for that matter, you are always doing some kind of analysis with best of your capacity, because that's exactly what is required. And that way you will not be putting your money into that much of risk, because you're doing an analysis before starting a trade. Okay. Over here, if you guys see right now, We don't have anything on BDIX and gold, so we can ignore both of them at the moment, but there's a chance we can have something on commodity, so the star will remain over there. We go to Europe Composite. We go to Asia Composite Index, Euro USD, GBP USD, guys, please let me know in the comments if you find any asset that provides a great signal for us to have a good entry point to start a trade, so that we can have more demonstration regarding how we can use this 5-day strategy. Okay. Oh, we had a great chance on Brent, but we missed it. If you guys see over here, it gave a great signal for us to start a trade on. But again, if you recall what I mentioned some time back, too much of to and fro motion over here. So this is something which you can avoid, but considering it's for a longer duration, so it's a trend. It's a safe trend for us to start a trade on, this trend. So we can follow this thing. At least for these two things, we'll have a great profitable result, because at the end, my trade is going for a duration of 3 minutes, which in this case is 5 minutes. Um, Vikas has commented on Astro. What I'm even doing, I don't think we should even look at BDIX and gold anymore. Let's just check maybe. Oh, we have a signal over here. Thank God we found one signal to have some demonstration. Let's go on this one first. And if we see, we can open a trade. Let's see how it goes for us. In the meantime, we'll go for different assets, see how they perform. And remember, guys, since my last to last trade was not profitable, so as per martingale situation, you are following this as per your account balance, because right now, considering my account balance, I can go for a trade of 160 USDT as well. So see what your account balance is, and based on that start trade. For example, right now I may trade with 40 USD base amount, but you can go for 4 USD also or 5 USD also. So that way, if you don't have a profitable trade, you can afford to double the amount to 10 USD and 20 USD later on. Okay, so be mindful of what your account balance is, and based on that, choose the base amount to start that trade with. We had a chance for altcoin index over here, but again we missed it. On Bitcoin, we don't have a chance. There's no point considering the profit is 50% only, but we can go to see if there's a signal, so that we can at least have a demonstration. Like this is the one, AUDCH. If I go on this one, it's crossing right now, but the candle is not complete. So we'll wait for the candle to complete to see how it performs. Again, I'm doing trade for 30% profit just to demonstrate how we can use Friday strategy. But if you're getting 30%, there's no point. You have more options in 80 or 60 or 70% also. Okay. So it got cut and it maintained the red color as well, and we'll wait for 10 to 15 seconds more to see the pattern. If yes, we can start a trade. We'll see how it goes, and we can start a trade. Let's see how it goes. I forgot to switch back to 40 again. That's my mistake. Let's not make this mistake. Okay. Now coming to AUD NZD, no signal over here, not an issue. We have enough options. There's a chance to start a trade over here. Let's put a start to this one. There's no chance over here. There's no chance over here. There's a good chance over here. Guys, again, this is a great demonstration regarding where we can avoid making a trade for some time. Like this is the case, this is the case where you should avoid trading for some time, because this is a lot of to and fro happening over here, and we can avoid this for some time because we have a lot of other options we can start trading. We missed a beautiful signal over here, like if you see right now, but not an issue. But I think what I'm trying to present a gist of is that you know how to identify a signal when you're using the Friday strategy, and that's the entire purpose behind this webinar on Friday. So make sure when you have a signal, you make a trade. Otherwise, you wait. Have patience, because you will have enough profit if you have patience. Coming back to my assets again, how they're performing. Right now, both of my trades are in profitable. Let's see how it goes later on. Oh, another thing. I made a trade of 5 minutes. Let's go back to 3 again. And again, let's see how BDIX is right now. Not a single change to have a signal. The gold situation is same as well. Maybe in coming 3 or 4 minutes, we might have a chance to have a signal. So we can put a star on gold right now. Commodity composite, not a chance. As you remember my word, back off your money when the asset is performing in this manner. Okay? Back off. If you go to Europe composite, nothing has changed over here. If you go to Asia composite, nothing has changed over here. So go back to our favorites again. Let's see how they are performing. Gold, not a chance as of now. Composite, not a chance. Europe, not a chance. Asia, no chances again. BMW, there's a possibility, but it will take at least a couple of minutes. So I think one of our trade ended profitability. Let's see it later on. CAD CHF, no chance as of now. Euro Stocks 50, there's a chance. Let's wait and see if we can start a trade on this asset in particular. And it crossed and the signal is maintained. So I think there's a great chance that we can use this strategy. Guys, again, if you see right now, it's in green color. Still, I have not opened a trade because I want to be sure of this thing, because that's how serious we need to be about the money that we are investing. We can't randomly start any trade in particular. It's crossed. If the next 10 to 15 seconds is in green, then we can start a trade. So let's address some of the questions of my friends over here. And the questions are, Mr. Rohit is asking, can we use Friday strategy on any day to get profit? Absolutely, yes. At the end, you have to just remember one thing. Whichever strategy you use, there's a way they tell you about the entry point where you can enter the trade. So whichever strategy you use, in this case it's Friday. So make sure if you're following the entry points, you will find that majority of your trades will end into profit, and that way we can work on it. So we'll make sure to wait for the accurate signal, and that way what will happen, majority of trades will end in profit. Right now this is not going in profit, but if you see our other trades, both of them ended in profit. So that's a great thing. So it means we have recovered the amount that we invested. So overall our account is in profit. So if this trade does not go in profit, what we need to do, I think you guys are aware of that. We can increase the amount and then start trading. But make sure the base amount that you're choosing is dependent on how much is in your account. Always be aware of that. Okay, Rohit, I hope I have addressed your question correctly. If not, you can please feel free to ask me again. Mr. RC3D, colon 4D vlogger, good evening. Good evening to you too. Thank you so much. Raj M52, what are you thinking? I'm not sure why you're asking this question. So guys, I hope the concerns were addressed in a right manner. If not, you are feel free to ask me all these questions again and we can address all of them. Right now, before ending this webinar, let's see again if you can find any other signal to start a trade on for a demonstration purpose. I think we can have a chance. Oh, we missed a chance. We missed a chance on commodity over here because we could have had a profitable trade here. So again, these things can help you. Just make sure you are not trading emotionally, but you are trading logically. Right now, if after this webinar ends, if you see over here, this meets and the next candle after that is in the same pattern, you have a great signal to start a trade. Like this is the signal if it's going up, but if you see right now, it's a great demonstration again for you all to explain it again. It cut the line which is EMA 13 in an uptrend, but after that the signal was red. So we can wait for some time more or we can avoid trading on this one, but at that moment you shouldn't trade. The moment right now was helpful for you to develop the understanding that you wanted, because right now if you saw this one, I didn't had a profitable trade. I doubled the amount to recover the losses from this one, so overall my account was in profit. Because of time limitation we can't continue the trading anymore, but if we could do, I would have doubled the amount and would have started trading to recover this loss as well. So what would happen, overall your account profitability will be maintained. So always make sure you're trading wisely, so that way account profitability will be maintained for you. So with this thought, I'll take your leave. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Have a great remaining Friday, of course. Okay. So wish you all successful and happy trading and a logical trading also. After that, if you have any concern, you can contact your respective manager with the help of customer support. You can do that and we'll make sure to be available to help you out in this case. Okay. So take care. Bye bye. All the best. Thank you so much.